Hi friends, in this video we are going to talk about two of the most basic school of thought of macroeconomics, that is classicals and Keynesians. So we are going to discuss four chief major differences between these two. Students are often confused about these school of thoughts. So let's begin. It would be a very clarificatory video. So let's begin. So friends, when we talk of classical, one of the chief thing classical says that supply creates its demand. So what does it mean, friends? You must have heard about this a lot. Matlab, how much producer supplies will be automatically demanded. So if a producer supplies 100 units, so that amount will be automatically demanded by the buyers. So means that whatever is supplied by the producers, whatever is produced in the factories, there would be demand for that, and that would be sold in the market, and therefore there is no deficiency of demand, and demand is equal to supply automatically. So you know that this is one of the basic principles of economics, that demand is equal to supply. So in this case what happens is whatever is supplied would be demanded. So friends, in this case it is often confused that producers have the free will to supply anything, but it is not true. Producers supply their profit maximizing quantity, means that they supply a level of output that is full employment, and this full employment is determined by some conditions. For full information on full employment, you can also refer to the video in the description box. For the time being, you can understand by this full employment it means that either everybody who is employed in the economy, or those who are willing to get a job in the economy. So that level of output at which all the who are willing to get a job in the economy is known as full employment. But however, Keynesians come and they say that there is deficiency of demand. So what do you mean by deficiency of demand now? Means that if my producers supply this YF is equal to 100 units, then it may not be true that this is demanded. So this may not be true. Maybe the total demand in the economy is just 50 units. So what is happening here, that supply is greater than demand, and it violates the principle of economics. So Keynesians say that such a thing is possible in an economy. So this is one of the major principle of difference between the two school of thoughts. Now let's move on to the second difference of thought. Now classical said that government intervention is not required. So what do you mean by government intervention is not required? It means that if the government increases its expenditure, means suppose if a government decides that it will spend on infrastructure, it will build roads, it will do the necessary things to bring development in the economy, it would not be helpful for the economy. This is what classical said. So why do they say this? This is because if government increases my expenditure, what happens is it gives money to everyone, like it is buying something. Suppose it is building a road, so it is buying cement from the cement factory. So what is happening, their incomes are going up, and when their incomes would go up, what would happen? The demand would go up, right? So when demand is going up for them, what would happen, that output should go up when my demand is going up. But according to the classicals, it is not the demand which is playing a role in the economy, it is the supply which is playing a role, and government intervention is not affecting the supply in any case. It is affecting the demand, and demand has no role. We saw that whatever is supplied would be demanded. So demand is dependent on my supply. So in this case, even if my supply demand increases, my output would not rise, and if my output fails to rise, then there is no role of government intervention, or this is also known as fiscal expansion. This rise in G is also known as fiscal expansion. But according to the classicals, according to the Keynesians, what did they say? If government increases G, so what happens is incomes rise in the economy. When incomes rise, what would happen? Demand would rise. And according to them, if demand rises, my total output of the economy rises. So in this case, that my output or the growth, or I can say growth, would rise due to increase in my G. And the third point of difference is that about the monetary policy. So classical said that if a government increases money supply, what would happen is that it would affect nothing but only my prices. So what would happen? My prices would rise and my output again would not be affected. Why does it say this? It is based on the famous quantity theory of money. MV is equal to PT. This is the equation of exchange given by classicals. So according to this equation, if M rises, P rises in the same proportion, and there is no effect on T, it is fixed, and V is also fixed. So what happens is, if money supply increases, P would rise and my rate of interest does not change. And similarly, if government changes rate of interest, my money supply would not be affected. So this is one key difference. But what do Keynesians say? Keynesians say that if my money supply rises, so what would happen? That my output rises. Why does it happen? Because if money supply rises, means there is more money in the economy, right? And if there is more money in the economy, what would happen? My rate of interest would go down. So according to the Keynesian, there is a negative relationship between money supply and rate of interest. So why does it happen? Because you can understand rate of interest as the price of money. So we know whenever the price of something goes down, the demand for that would go up. So price of money goes down, demand for it goes up. So what is happening? My money supply is rising. So when there is a rise in money supply, there is a fall in rate of interest. Okay, and due to this fall of interest, what happens now? Investment would rise. So there would be more investment in the economy, and when there is more investment in the economy, there would be more income in the economy. So that is why there is a this money supply is effective. So monetary policy is effective in this case. Monetary policy is effective in this case. So friends, now let's understand the fourth difference. So it is a bit technical difference. If you don't get it, it is completely fine. You can skip this part, but if you want to go into core, this point of difference would be important to you. So friends, when we say that in the classicals that supply creates its own demand, so producers in this case produce a fixed amount of Y in this case, right? Because we said that producers supply YF. So my supply is equal to YF in this case. So in economics, we know there is a supply and demand. So my supply in this case is vertical. And what about demand? Demand in this case is downward sloping. Okay. So shape of supply and demand in classicals is this. Supply is vertical and demand is downward sloping. But if I talk about my Keynesians, what happens is my demand is downward sloping. It is okay. But my supply is horizontal first at low levels of output. Then it is upward sloping in the short run. We call it short run aggregate supply. Then in the long run, it is vertical just like the classicals. So the shape of aggregate supply in case of Keynesians is not vertical. It is first horizontal, then it is upward sloping in the long run, and in the short run and in the long run it is vertical just like the classicals. So these were four major differences between classicals and Keynesians. If you like the video, do hit the like button, friends. Thank you so much.